And hello, everybody. This is John Holliday. I'm your March competition judge. If you've seen the other critiques, then you kind of know some of this. But if you're coming right here to Class M for the first time instead of the other ones, just to tell you a little bit, most of you probably know who I am. I've judged for you in the past. My name is John Holliday. There's some information there if you want to go look me up. As I said, I've judged for you in the past. Just generally, I used to run a camera club. I've been around photography for a long time. I like all kinds. I have my own little specialties, which just like everybody does. And hopefully, in this class, I'm just going to make some comments, just kind of call it as I see it, and maybe that will be helpful to you, either for improving or just maybe help you look at something a little bit different or whatever. We're going to do this as if we were in person. They'll be in kind of a random order except for the top four. Category wasn't very large, so there's one honorable mention, then a third place, second place, first place. Those will be at the end, like you're used to. I think you've already gotten your scores, probably. I was not able to be with you on the Thursday night that was set aside for that. So we came up with this idea, or I had the idea, and the club powers that be decided, hey, let's give that a try. And it'll be here forever if you need to look at it another time or whatever. So anyway, I hope this goes as I have planned, and we'll jump right into it. So here we go. This picture is grain elevator motif. I like it just fine. There is sort of a juxtaposition of structures here and textures, which is interesting. And it's very warm light. Technically it's fine. Does it visually or artistically or subjectively do much for me? Not terribly. I like the idea of the way the shadow is there too. It's an interesting picture, but to some extent, there it is what it is on that one. I love this one. By the way, I could have had several honorable mentions in this group, so there's lots of really good ones. This has just the juxtaposition and the arrangement of the arches and the angles here is very interesting. It's very well done. The lighting is pretty soft, which I like in this case, and there's lots of texture. On all the beams and so forth, you can really see the texture. So that's very well done. I'm guessing there may have been a fair amount of effort that went into processing this, and that is, I can appreciate that certainly. But yeah, I like this one a lot. It has a very graphic sort of feel, which I personally like. I think I'm not as good at it sometimes because I don't see it the way that a naturally artistic person might. So I have a real appreciation for that. This is a nice moment. If it's called Jumping with Acorns, if that is indeed an action shot, then that's a great moment for that to be happening. I like the idea too of the background being white or blown out. I can't tell exactly how that would have happened, but anyway, but I like that. The one thing about this one that just bugs me a little bit in a technical sense is just the noise that's in there. That makes me think maybe this was a backlit shot, and this had to be the levels had to be increased on the bird a lot, possibly, and that may be where some of that's coming from. But anyway, there are ways to kind of deal with that now. That would be something to work on a little bit more. I like this shot. It's an Amish farm. I'm assuming maybe it's in, well, it doesn't have to be. Maybe it's Pennsylvania. Maybe it's not. That's where I've seen a lot. I feel like I've even maybe seen this one in my travels through the Lancaster area of Pennsylvania, but who knows? It's probably something similar. This is fine. I appreciate the panoramic treatment of it. It makes me wonder what this looked like in color, and I think I might have preferred that. If we were going for sort of an older look, then maybe something like a sepia might have helped. But it's nicely done as far as contrast and tones and so forth. Just from a visual or artistic sense, it just does a certain amount for me, but not a ton else. I don't think there's anything else going on there that would be that would help with promote a storyline or something like that. I'm just not seeing that. But anyway, it's that I think that's what I have to say about that one. There are some others for sure that I prefer in this class, in this category. This is cool. I when I first saw it, I thought, okay, this is very graphic in nature, and I kind of like that. I like this sort of the geometric feel that it has. And I looked at it for a while, and I left it, and then I came back, and then I realized what the title was. This is Double Vision. I'm not exactly sure why that is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we should learn everything from a title, nor should we use a title as communicating what's happening, because that shouldn't happen. But if you look closely, to me, it looks, and I think it's all about the angle and the lighting, but it almost looks like this is in front of the blue down here, and up here it almost looks like the blue is cut out, and this is showing behind it. I don't know if that was on purpose or it's just an interesting thing. The one in the middle, not so much, which says more about the angle of it. But you see how that looks like almost like a cutout. But it's obviously not down here. So anyway, I don't know if that's part of it or not, but it makes it kind of interesting for sure. So I enjoy looking at it, and then the textures here as well. It is an interesting find. You're just seeing that and deciding to take a picture of it was good. I'm not sure that I would have taken a picture of that. So, way to go as far as seeing it and deciding to capture that. I like this a lot. Anything that's macro is always very interesting. This is certainly dynamic. There's a very strong focal point going on. I like the color of the green behind it, which I'm assuming maybe is foliage or something. It's very sharp, so all that's good. There's a couple things. One is I think I would have preferred the density of the branch to be brought down some. This might help the focal point stand out even more. Not that it doesn't, because there's not that much in the frame, but that would be my preference. And I want to just, in an effort to just kind of help you understand what I saw, this is what I did. When I first saw it, I went, oh wow, that's really cool. And I was looking right here. And then I kind of noticed the branch, and I went, what is that? And my eye went there. I got distracted a little bit. I know it's probably just a lighting thing. It's a fibrous thing or a web, something there. But I don't know. So that just sort of detracted from this. Now, if there's a reason that's supposed to be there and you like it to be there, I think I'm not getting that. I mean, I'm not understanding that. For that reason, if it were me, I would have just taken that out, probably. If I saw it that way, others may. So, but that does not take away from the technicality of everything else about it. The darkening of the tree here, that's kind of a subjective deal. That's my thought. Otherwise, really cool. I love this picture. This is one of those where I can really, and this is another one that I had 2 or 3 here that could easily be up in my top 5 or 6 or 7. I can really appreciate effort taken on this one. I'm assuming there's some effort because of how it looks. Now, if there's not as much effort as I thought, then that just goes to show me that maybe I don't know as much as I thought. It obviously starts with a good capture, and that's certainly there. I love the mix of color temperatures here. This lighting here, which may be kind of it might be like a xenon. Well, it could be an LED or something. By comparison, it's obviously warmer than what's over here. And then the sky. It's obviously a time exposure. You got some nice movement in the clouds there. And so I'm sure there's some work done on it in processing to get that going. But the focal point here is wonderful, and then you just kind of linger on the sky for a little bit. It really works. Anyway, it just I just enjoyed the craftsmanship in this photo. So good job. This one is called Mile Marker. I like this one fine. It's, our focal point is here. That's in focus. We have this interesting thing going on in the background here. It's a pretty scene, and it's well done. A couple things that I wonder about is perhaps I wonder if a slightly different position might have helped. This thing here, which is kind of what we first see, is this sign here out of focus is interfering a little bit with it. I wonder if this might look better if it was sort of over here by itself with nothing in the background to detract. Now, I know that may have been hard. This probably wasn't planned. This is maybe a writer that just came by while you were doing it, etc., etc. But if there was a way to move to the left a little bit, that might have helped that. I would not have minded a little bit of vignetting, especially down here in the bottom. This is pretty prominent here. We just don't need that really. So anyway, that's an idea there. This is my honorable mention, and almost could have as easily been placed, and there were others up here too. But I like this. It's really good. It's very, very sharp, focused. We've got an eye there, which makes it a little bit more intimate. It lends some intimacy there. Nicely vignetted here, little burning in around the edges, so that's great. At first I almost wanted to comment on the tonalities being so similar, that there's so much gray and beige going on here, very similar stuff. But I realized that's how it is. That's just the way that is. And so I get that. So that, to me, as I thought about it a little bit longer, I realized, but that's what makes it cool, because this owl is in its one of its native settings, being hard to see, and that's probably part of the point. So I like that you have been able to capture that and then processed it in a way so that it gently stands out and makes us very aware that the owl is there. So I like that part. It really an excellent shot. This would be third place. I love this one too. The simplicity of the subject, just this structure against the sky, and when you look closely, there's some great texture in this. I'm sure all of you guys have probably seen either this image or other images like it, probably in the same place. The texture is great. The tonality and the lighting of this structure is also really pretty. It's kind of silvery, which is really pretty. The only thing and by the way, the clouds are very interesting. I found myself wondering this, and you may have a shot, the maker may have a shot that is like I'm about to describe, but I wonder if I would like it better, and I like it a lot, if what was right behind it was not the clouds, but the darker sky. I realize it's probably a blue sky, but in the black and white, that's what we've done here. By the way, that's a good job to get that dark as well. In the old days, that would have been what was that? A blue filter with black and white film? No, a red filter. Wait, now I'm getting confused. Yeah, a blue one, I think. Anyway, to make that happen, but it's been a while. I don't know about you. I've not had to use filters for a while because I can do it in post. But good job on that. But it made me wonder if I might prefer that, because it would add a little bit more drama. But that's just a different way of looking at it. So that's not to take away from this one at all. But that was my thought. Second place, yeah. This is this shot has a wow factor. That is immediate impact, and the appeal continues on. Great moment. Grabbing it at that exact split second is really interesting, and then the lighting is perfect. It's almost like you posed that bird. So great shot. There's not much more to say about it other than it's really good. I believe I gave it 15 points, yeah. So, excellent. Great job. This one is my first place, and this is also best of show. What else do I say? I mean, it's really, really good. I don't do much macro myself. I played around with it a little bit, but it's just not one of my emphases. I don't really have time to do much with it. But boy, would I love to have something like this. And that would entail having the skills and the equipment to do it. So, just beautiful. Wow factor. Beautiful colors, well composed. Extremely sharp, right where the eyes are. All this area. It's just great. So not much more to say about that other than really, really good. To this maker, congratulations. I enjoyed the master's class, this category, by the way, everybody. So thank you for letting me do that. This is a shameless plug. I am going to do a little, it's one of those Tuesday night workshops for you guys, April 6th. You may know that I'm sort of a cityscape skyline guy. That's my specialty, and mainly it's because I've just tried to make a living with it, and I'm doing so somewhat. I have most major, just to give you a quick little teaser, I have most major cities in the U.S. Not all of them, but most of them. This night you're gonna see some of those. I'll put them together in a fun video that you can watch and see a bunch of images. It won't be terribly technical. We will talk some about my process. And probably a few things there that you might be interested in, especially if you're doing cityscape skyline type stuff, but maybe some things you can even use in other types of things as well. We'll talk a little bit also about just things that practically you guys might be interested in when you're in a city or just looking around for different subjects. So we'll talk a little bit about more localized cityscapes as well. So anyway, hope you can join me for that, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So thank you for letting me do that, and again, I really appreciate it. Thank you.